Yo, yo, what's going on, folks? How you all doing? Canal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Here is today's watch list. So we had a little bit of a fader in the market. We started off hot, and once again, we faded late in the day. That is typical when you have geopolitical news out there. The market will move on rumors and things of that nature, and so you always have to treat everything guilty till proven innocent. And so even though the market was up just a tad, the good thing was there was plays all over the place and breakouts all over the place. And you saw some really strong moves and plays like Yelp and DDD and ZLC and all these stocks will still be in play for the next coming days as they've been just acting so well. So keep a list of really some of these stronger stocks that have had momentum, because it seems like people are buying the dips in these things like Yelp and Trip and Zillow. I mean, right? These are the new leaders of the market and something that we got to keep an eye on. And so as long as these bad boys are still flying, there's still spec money coming into this market. Let's take a look at the watch list for tomorrow. Then, of course, as we're still in earnings season, we'll be playing earnings breakouts, breakdowns, and, PR type of places. Those type of plays do tend to buck the market a little bit, especially when the market goes soft. And then, of course, every day we do play these, regular stocks like Yelp, DDD, Zillow. These are the type of stocks you just want to kind of keep on your watch list every day, as every few days you'll tend to see some type of good setup in it. Let's take a look here. So I've been watching this ONVO for a while here. I think we're starting to get into a good location here. It probably needs a break over like 6 or so to really get moving, but it's coiling up for a run here. It's not the cleanest of charts, but this thing, when it does coil, does tend to get a pop. ASTX, it had a rest day today, and so I do anticipate this third day to take out this $7 mark. And if that happens, we could get a really nice push in this. NTE, really one of the only stocks I found that had a really nice pattern in terms of a stock being close to its bottom. Watch this $8 mark. It seems to always have a reaction around it, but if it can break and hold above that, we can probably see a quick run to the $9 mark, before it starts to fill its gap. FANG, another strong stock. It's flagging here. I probably wouldn't take the stock if the market is red, as the volume on the stock does tend to die out at certain times of the day, and so you don't want to be stuck holding this thing. OWW, I like the location on this one. With all these bad boys we're going today, Trip and Zillow, all Yelp. It's just a matter of time that this one does get picked up, as long as it can kind of hold above this lows. It seems to be having some trouble with that $10 mark. Kong, a nice push today. We're looking at a flat top breakout over here. This one should definitely be in play tomorrow. VNDA, the same thing. After this initial push off its PR, it's just been really just vacillating around for the last month or so. But you can tell this $12 mark is very, very key. It seems to be holding this stock back, and so we can thrust back above that level. I think we got something. GSVC, I added this one into my swing portfolio. I held it overnight. I was looking for a bounce off 12. We got that. If you could take out this range here from the last couple of days, we should see a run into the 13s very easily. WLT, this one is coiled up. It keeps testing this area, and the more times it tests, the more powerful it's going to be. The one thing I will say, it's probably really heavily watched by most people, and so as you don't really see very many large cap names on the bottom coiling up like this, so it's probably really heavily watched. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just the day it finally kind of breaks out of here, it just does it on a gap and go. So be prepared to have a few different types of intraday setups to combat that or play this stock. The one thing I will say also is don't buy this stock on spikes. If you watch its intraday action, it very rarely, holds strength. It'll spike up and then totally fade back, and usually off those big dips, you start to see buyers come in. And so I wouldn't chase too much strength in here unless you have really a gap and go type of setup. DXCM after this big earnings push, we're still consolidating here. Watch for this kind of this 28 level. SEAS, I've got this on watch for a rubber band play. We've had a hell of a breakdown here. At 1 second it looked like it was going to break IPO highs at 39, and the next thing, just a few weeks later, we've broken IPO lows. I think we can get a gap down on this bad boy in the morning, or just a morning flush that could set us up for a potential counter trend to the long side. And then we have UBNT. I'm looking at this for potential rubber band short. I will say some of these stocks, especially these earnings plays, if you don't have a really rock solid setup on all time frames, what typically will happen is it'll look like it's about to break down, and then you just see buyers come in and buy that dip, and so you almost can't short it on too much weakness, as those seem to be bringing in buyers. So make sure you really align this and have a rock solid setup. And if you don't know much about trading, this is the type of setup that you generally want to stay away from, are these counter trend setups, as they are the highest risk ones, and probably a little bit less probability unless you know exactly how to line everything up. So that's it for now, guys. I will see everybody in the morning. Have a good one. Take care.